Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is a. Wait, what day of the week? Saturday. It's Saturday. I'm a professional, right, everybody? I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Welcome to the channel. Tonight is our Song of Agapia's Fortune, our high-level D&D campaign, where all of my wonderful players are wonderful, wonderful people, and we're going to introduce them, let them go around, introduce themselves, and then I'll do the rest of the spiel at the end. You'll notice that we are missing two of our players tonight. I'll get into why at the end. But first up, the lone member of team representing Team Grumpy. Hello, Pope. How you doing tonight?
Hey, doing quite well. It's great to be back with the Agapia crew playing Bandiverse. Both of us use he/him pronouns, and yeah, there's a lot to be grumpy about. There's a lot to be nervous about. So we'll see if the team does indeed get a spike of respite, or is it just flames, side of my face, burning.
You get credit for that quote. Thank you for that reference. I appreciate that. Um, well, we'll jump down to PB. Hey, PB, representing Team Fun. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing well. I'm excited tonight. Yeah, this evening I will be playing Tibian Van Tuynen, a very adventurous halfling who uses she/her pronouns.
Yeah, adventurous is a term. And then we get the other half of Team Fun with Lynn. Hey, Lynn, how you doing? How's life going for you tonight?
Doing good. Happy to be here with everyone and see what the fallout of our root interruption of our relax time was by dragon-ish beings who tried to knife us. But yeah, I'm Lynn, she/they, and tonight I am playing the glamorous bard, Field Barrelumber, she/her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And last but certainly never least among the wonderful people on this channel, hey Chris, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. I think that we've, run into a variety of things coming up, and we keep surviving. So survival is good, and part of that survival is the healing magics of Javieth, who I'm playing. His pronouns are he/him, and yeah, we're recovering from the assault of infernal draconic assassins from the old continent.
Yes.
Well, at least that's his interpretation.
I mean, you're probably not wrong there. I mean, that could be true or could be wrong. We'll find out. But that does lead to an interesting point. You did have a very pleasant rest amongst the dwarves after you escaped from somewhere you don't know, and the stone juggernaut that was the guardian of this location that had the 12 or 21, excuse me, not 12, 21 um missing clerics that you have discovered. You teleported with them. When you appeared in Posalaf, city of the dwarves and the empire of Varum, you were missing two clerics and a bard. So the bard is still missing, the clerics are still missing. You had yourselves a very pleasant time, taking full advantage of the hospitality of the dwarves, the healing waters of their, you know, hot springs, because if you live underground in a giant cavern of mountains, you have hot springs. I don't make these rules, they're just natural geology. Then you were resting and Tibian went to go discuss and have conversations with her friend, one of the clerics that you rescued, Pilter, a halfling cleric, storm cleric. You succeeded in, well, you were having a very pleasant conversation, and then unfortunately, somebody very much wanted you dead. Some bipedal, draconic-looking assassins appeared out of the darkness and attempted to murder you all. You survived. The speaker for these healing ward was very upset because they had not been informed by the city guard that there was the possibility of you being tracked and or, infernal possession involved. Nobody decided to tell the healer that. That wasn't important. But after the fact, they decided to spend some time after they found out about this to reactivate all of the wards, ensure that there was nothing coming in and out of the sanctuary that they've built, and you have had yourselves a full evening, full day of rest. So, with morning breaking, well, sort of, I mean, you're still underground, what would you like to do?
Because we do not learn our lessons, furiously cast a number of spells.
Oh, okay. What is that furious casting of a number of spells, just so I know?
So there's going to be a series of sendings because we cannot give up fantasy Twitter.
25 words or less, there you go.
Yep. As they're within the cavalcade of very important people, we still have yet to inform everyone that needs to be informed. And so we're going through the list. Next on our his list of the greatest hits is Queen Astrid herself. Warning about how we're going to do this. Most clerics accounted for in Postalav possible infernal entanglements, possibility of empire going to war. Keep your people safe. There you go.
Heard and acknowledged is the only response you get back.
That's Astrid. So that's the first of the third level spells. Second is we're going to try, and I do mean try, we'll see if we get a response.
Who are you trying to get?
Darius, one more time.
I mean, you're hoping for a cordial response and not a X-rated response?
I'm hoping for a response as opposed to busy. Ariana's dead. My office desecrated. World's at stake. Please get off your ass and whatever you're doing and get yourself to me. I'm in Postalav. Love you. Please respond.
You wait. And 2. Time stretches out. There's no response.
I think that's all he can concentrate on. I don't think he can cast right now.
Well, Bandibus is attempting to reach out to an old friend. What is Team Fun? I guess, what is Tibian doing? Let's start with Tibian. What are you up to today? As the you don't know that, well, you know that dawn's breaking, but you don't actually see it because you're underground. So
I am. Tibian definitely was out last night. Tibian did not just go back and go to sleep after everything. Came back and, for enough time for a long rest. But, she enjoyed herself last night. Met a few interesting characters out on the town.
yes, dwarves party hard.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of a lot of drinks that were and treats that are specific to here that she had never had, and to just dwarves in general. How you have stuff from other countries in your area, but it's never the same as when you actually go to that place. So I've had drinks and things that are were specific to dwarven culture, but a totally different story here. So definitely enjoyed everything. Regaled stories about crazy attacks and murder attempts and all that stuff. And this morning, what Tibian's going to do, she's gonna after she checks in and makes sure that everyone is okay and alive, nothing bad has happened over the night, she's gonna head out and go to a local bakery to just have get to know the person there, create a little bit of a back and forth, and get to know each other, and see if they're open to certain trades in the future.
I feel like this is a role.
Okay.
Your choice. I feel like this is persuasion, though.
Okay. Survive that.
But I will say, because you did spend the night drinking with a bunch of dwarves, you can have advantage on this roll.
Okay. Hog you.
Because, people have been talking.
All right. Persuasion. Okay, that's this one.
Ooh, 14. 14's a lot better than 8.
Yeah.
The bakery is, there are these little custard tart things. Little 1-2 bite custard tart things that are really good. The baker themselves is a older dwarf, long hair kind of pulled back all the way on a top knot, just kind of messily pinned in place. And she is like, okay, I don't object to a trade, but this, how do you think this is going to work? I don't want them to get stale. My product is too good. I don't want it to get bad.
Oh, no. So this is what the plan is. So this would not be something that happens right away. But myself and another council member are about to bring up to the rest of the council to open up a teleportation circle in Sakal, in efforts to open ourselves up to more places, but also so we can get some fresh pastries specifically from Dorsalov. That's where we're at.
You're in Postolov. Hold on
Postolov?
1 second, guys. Let's see
Yeah.
what just happened because it looks like
Oh,
we
A
just
Pope poofed.
oh,
Steve. Sorry about the cameras, everybody. Hopefully this is a quick fix. Roll for random arrangements. Yep.
oh.
I would like my arrangement to be edible, please.
Look, I can't guarantee it'll be covered in chocolate though. That's an extra. That's an extra.
That's fine. How much to cover it in butterscotch instead?
Ooh.
Ooh, that could be interesting. It's all right though. But okay, we can make it work. Hold on, everybody. We're gonna go step away for some technical fix, and then we'll be right back. Live, everybody. Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. We fixed everything. Pope is back. Life is good. Tibian, you were saying something about teleportation circle and
Oh yes. So we're going to open up a in hopes of opening up a teleportation circle in which we will be able to get the freshest goods from around the around Arabia, Arabia,
Arabia.
Yoruba,
Arabia. Yeah.
Arabia. You know when you read something a lot and then you just never think about how you pronounce it? Arabia.
I just assume that that's a dialectical thing.
Which is fine because there is an entire continent of people on this, number of species and peoples on this continent that have different languages and different dialects. Say it however you want.
True. From
Linguistic
all
shift
around
is a real thing, people.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very large, very, very large area that we live in. And because of that, we want to start making plans of getting, but the very best of goods to the people of Sakel to be able to enjoy the delicacies from across the lands. And I would like to present you with the opportunity to be one of the first in Posolav to, share their goods with a whole new audience of people.
Well, we could see how. I do not object. Put it down as a solid maybe. Let me see the circle first.
That is all I ask. It's just to open up a conversation. Like I said, it's not going to happen tomorrow. But when it does happen, I would love for you to be our first option.
All right, and they will reach out and offer their arm to shake in agreement.
I will. Oh my god, I'm making a deal with someone my own size for once.
Yes. A little bit taller, but still within your same size group.
A complete world difference in always having to throw my arm up. And I'll hold out my arm and hand also to give a nice firm shake.
They nod in agreement. A nice firm shake. It is it's a solid agreement. You feel pretty sure that their major answer is words and are hard. Their major concern is about that their product arrives with the same level of freshness as they expect. So you get a teleportation circle, and there will be a very good deal for you guys.
Heck yeah. Honestly, all I can ask for, because that is all I want also for the people. No one wants stale pastries.
No one wants stale pastries. That is the worst thing in the world.
That is, and Tibian will just be walking the streets, just getting to see Posolav and, say hello and just be friendly with people, until basically she is called back or has a reason to go reconvene with the party.
Okay. Theo, what are you doing this morning? Daytime.
I think Theo had a similar thing where I don't know if you want to say it right, but they kind of Tibian and Theo kind of start, but then at a certain point maybe they split off and have their own separate little party,
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe because Theo is professional entertainer, I guess maybe has a slightly stronger stamina for how long she can party without it absolutely wrecking her. I think maybe she took it into the the what was it? The Arcane University or whatever it is. That area.
Mm-hmm. The Arcane University is not in this city.
Oh, it's not.
No, you're in Posolov, which is the city
Yeah.
of the dwarves.
Yeah.
They do a lot of enchantment here
Yeah.
from the smiths and the forges that are out of here.
Yeah.
But the actual Arcane Academy is in Visava.
Okay. No, she just, went to one of the nice areas and just grabbed some people and just went partying for most of the night. A lot of magic, a lot of flagrant magic use. I will say drinking and flagrant magic use happened.
Good to know. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing this morning? Or I guess the question is, how early does Fio get up the morning after?
There is something frightening at the degree of how late she partied, how early she gets up. And just kind of looks like nothing
So
happened.
I have a very important question. Is this partying going to interrupt your long rest?
You know what? Sure, why not?
Ooh.
Why
Very
not?
nice.
Actually, you know what? Can I? Should we roll? How?
About how drunk you got?
How late we got?
How late you went? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. What are we rolling? So I want to know what you
Wisdom maybe seems like the thing.
A wisdom save seems the most appropriate here.
Yeah.
Or if you went and I would say I'll give you either way, wisdom or intelligence, your choice, but I'm going to give you a -2 on this because you drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Not disadvantage, just -2 because you're, drinking.
I also imagine that because Fio's performed here, there's some ego involved about staying out because people are fawning over Fio.
Yeah, there was probably impromptu using of Magnificent Mansion and just having just impromptu concert and revelry happen.
Okay.
So is that a wisdom save? Wisdom
Save, and again, still -2.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see how
Why can I not delete that?
how wrecked up this is. 19.
19? Not bad. Don't like this. Where are my... Can one of the mods delete that, please? Sorry, PB did not
Most
mean to put that in
appreciated.
there.
Uh-oh.
No.
And for some reason, it's not letting me do it, which is weird.
Oh, there you go.
I had that issue
Okay.
Thanks.
this week also.
Mm-hmm.
It's like... Thanks, Hawkeye. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I don't know why that was not working. I'll have to play with that and figure out. Twitch is being twitchy. Twitch is doing things. So a 19, you will stay out. You know yourself. You know your limits. You can kind of feel yourself going and partying and feeling a little bit of a fun times. You also rolled really well. That's a really good roll. But you make yourself back in enough to get, enough so that you don't end up, you can still get the benefits of a full long rest.
Okay, I think in that case she is going to be the late riser. I think.
Yeah,
We
you'll
did.
sleep in a little bit, but
Yeah.
Okay. And then I guess the question is, what is Javi doing this?
Well, Javi,
Daytime.
like most days, wakes just before twilight, like some sort of internal clock, or God taps him on the shoulder and rolls out of bed, remembers something that Bandabris had said about the apprentices, or not apprentices, the graduates of the academy having certain markings over their doors. And we'll do his morning routine and then walk the streets of Posalov looking for a shop that would sell wands.
Is there a particular type of wand you're looking for?
Yeah, a wand of sending.
So
I want a Twitter phone.
you want a Twitter phone. Let's see if you can find one. Why don't we start? Hold on, I have to remember the... Hold please while I refresh my memory of what we can do in this system. I have too many systems in my head. I would say that this is a survival, because this game doesn't have Streetwise, to see if you can find the right type of merchant.
Sure.
You know, you started in like the healer's wing, which is where you guys were staying, because it was easier to just kind of take all 21, all 19 of those clerics, plus the 5 of you, and put you in one place.
Well, for whatever reason, D&D Beyond did not connect again for me.
Yeah, I had to reset the connection this morning too. It was very weird.
But I rolled a 26.
Yeah, so you can kind of make your way through and find and navigate through, remembering where you were as, you were bringing up the rear in the conversation with the guard, remembering where the teleportation circle was and how to find that main thoroughfare with a number of shops and cafes and taverns and bars. Those are all different things. They kind of intermingled along there, and a number of very high-end enchantment shops. And you can find one kind of off to the side, in a little, not quite cul-de-sac, but like a little alleyway that kind of opens between two of the buildings. And then there's another building in the end of that alleyway, just kind of set back a little bit. A very nicely appointed shop with a single sign that is just a crossed wand and a staff. You can see the lights on inside. The door is cracked but not fully open. There doesn't seem to be anybody, excuse me, rephrase that. There don't seem to be any customers inside.
I will Javi will politely rap on the door as he creaks it open a little bit, sticking his head inside, and says, are you available for customers yet?
You hear a couple bangs and clangs as underneath the counter, an actual gnome, a little tiny gnome appears and brightens up and looks at you and goes, pulls their glasses off the top of their head and blinks and goes, yes, customers! Yes, come in. What would you like? What do you need? How can I help you?
I am looking for a wand.
Wands? We have wands. We have swords. We have staves. We have everything. What kind of wand do you need?
I'm looking for one that's charged with the spell of sending.
Sending. Hold on, please. And you see them kind of duck down again behind the counter, and you realize that the counter, well, a little low for being of your height, is a little high for this gnome. It would probably even be just a touch high for like a dwarf. It's kind of like the gnome, whoever built this shop tried to kind of split the difference in height differential between the tall folk and the small folk, to kind of balance things out. And then you hear some clattering, sending. And you see a giant tome appear. And by tome, I mean like a heavy set, big, maybe 2 feet across by about 3 feet long, bound in leather with giant brass locks that kind of come up and over like big full latch sets, and then just kind of sending. Haven't done one of those in a couple of years, but we have the possibility. Was there a particular color, wood type, special occasion you wanted engraved with somebody's name? We can do a nice stylized inscription for you if you like.
No, nothing special needs to be of it, though. If there is some sort of bird motif, it'd probably be fitting.
Birds, we can do birds. What kind of birds? We got hawks, we got owls, we got swallows, seagulls. Seagulls are evil, but they're, we still do them.
Whatever.
We don't do pigeons. I don't do pigeons. Pigeons are evil.
Whatever it is that feels right for the wand itself. I let the craftsperson figure out what works best, and I appreciate the quality.
I like you. I really do. It works for me. I like this. We're bonding. Timeline, do you care how long it is? We're gonna,
Sooner is better than later.
Okay. I mean, I don't got a lot of things going on, and as you can see, there's not a lot of people here today, but because, there's not a big caravan, nobody come in shopping.
That's true.
Give me a couple hours. Baby. Yeah, a couple hours. I can get it done in a couple hours. We'll see you in a couple hours.
Okay.
Anything else you need?
I know, that's all I'm in the market for at the moment.
Okay. We got one. Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, then have a nice day. I'll see you in a couple hours.
Okay.
And they just disappear, kind of like, almost like they jumped down, probably off a small like ledge that's behind the counter, and then disappear behind into the back room. And you hear some clanging and clattering. They leave everything that, the giant book is still left on the counter. They leave everything exactly the way it was when you walked in, with no care or concern about.
So is that the vaunted Sears and Roebuck catalog?
I mean, you could take a look and see.
I will peer at it to see what it is that is so interesting before leaving.
What languages do you read?
Common, Elvish, Halfling, and Orc.
It is not in any of the languages you read.
Fair.
It looks like just an inventory ledger.
Well, he'll turn and make his way out.
As you walk, where are you heading now that you've commissioned a wand of sending?
Back to the healing ward.
Healing to the ward.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything any of you would like to do?
What time does Javi do this business?
Oh, this would have been like shortly after twilight finished, so after dawn had broken. So he'd be back probably 7, 8, in time for breakfast.
Nice.
So with breakfast being offered, mostly pastries, a good heavy oatmeal with cinnamon sugar on top, and eggs and bacon, and hard rolls for those who wish a bacon, egg, and cheese. Breakfast is served, and I think that's what's going to pull Theo out of their room. The scent of bacon, eggs, hash browns, toast. The complete hangover breakfast cure.
Mm-hmm.
So what does Theo do with the scent of breakfast rising?
Um, she'll slowly get dressed and then just it's not gonna be walking. It's gonna be like she's too tired to walk. She's still a little like so. It's gonna be winged boot over to the breakfast. Just the most hungover, like little fairy looking, and start grabbing like whatever hangover cure she can think of, and then like stuff like fruit and stuff like that for her, and like a piece of bacon.
There's a lot, not a lot of fruit to be had. Some jams, very good jams.
Closest thing.
Yep.
Bread and jam.
Considering this is not the first time that Theo is partying hard, I have a very specific question. Does Theo have a hangover veil? Something like nice, somewhat sheer, but enough to like darken and cover the eyes.
You know what? That's a good idea. That might be something just like a really fancy like little like
fancy veil.
Yeah.
Fancy veil it is.
Fancy veil with like the effect of like sunglasses also because it's very bright. It's well, thankfully, you know what? This is a great place for because there is not. It's not like super bright. So
No, it is not super bright, and all of the light
great.
is all of the light you see around here are actually stone crystal sconces that are lit from within. Some modify you don't even have to roll. You're pretty sure that those are modified light spells on the crystal itself. They're kind of like engraved perhaps onto the crystal, so you know, doesn't need to be recast all the time.
Does he clap on and clap off?
No.
Oh.
Well, the problem with that in a dwarven city is they tried that and they always had the problem of the ringing of the forge turned them off and on. So like everybody was striking on the anvil, it just went on and off and on and off, and then you ended up with a strobe light effect, and that just didn't. Nobody really liked that.
They didn't want a whole town that was a disco?
No, at least not in that particular moment. It was very distracting. So breakfast is on offer, Theo, and when you emerge, Javi is there. Thorn is going to be present, but again, your choice, you know, is a follow NPC at the moment. I don't know where Bandibus is, though. You would notice that Tibian is not there, but I don't know where Bandibus is.
Not at breakfast. He has wandered outside.
Outside the city, or still in under the mountain, or beyond out into the wilderness?
Out into the wilderness.
We'll come back to Bandibus in a minute. So Theo, the only person at breakfast, well, the only two people at breakfast are Javi and Thorn. And Thorn is eating his body weight in hash browns, eggs, and bacon.
I'm assuming the clerics too.
Yeah. Well, no, the clerics are all in the. Remember, you guys had separate like.
Oh yeah.
Room.
I remember now.
And we're
in more of the spa area. They're in the infirmary.
Yeah. It was easier to keep you guys all generally located, and then they wanted all of the clerics in one ward so that it was. You know, if they had a big negative reaction.
Oh, makes sense.
So yeah, the two of you are left alone.
Theo is going to muster like the usual like cheery greeting, but just can't. Like, good morning. You're up early.
Yes.
Early, right? There's no sun. I can't tell. Also, what day is it?
I have no idea what calendar we're on.
Oh god, I have one. Did I never give you guys the calendar?
You may have, but I don't know what date. So, whatever tomorrow would be from yesterday.
I will get that for you guys. I have
Okay, no,
one. It's
I
not
think
in
Fio
here.
just wants to know if it's the next day, and she didn't
Yeah.
just like do the slumber for a full day and then just get up at.
You did not lose a full day.
Good. Okay. Oh, that's one thing to keep track of. You know that. You know various healing things, but it doesn't quite. Nothing quite gets rid of the morning feeling.
Hmm. I mean, yeah. There's only so much that magics can do when you tax the body.
Mm-hmm. I'll certainly have a image to keep up. Coming here, I have to tour eventually, and having good word of mouth is important.
Yes.
Always works.
Yes.
Work and play, same thing. It's a good deal sometimes, most of the time.
I imagine that you do quite well at both.
Yeah, we try. Although it's a good thing Malik's not here, because otherwise I think he would say something rude.
The two of you do seem to have quite the banter back and forth.
Certainly. It's see some sort of cruel god's trick that we are put together like this. Or at least were. I don't know where he went.
That is concerning.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
How big of it is how much sacrilege if you declare yourself one of the gods?
I think it depends on like how the gods themselves respond. Mortals will tell you based on their own ego as to whether or not it's sacrilege, but if you're actually wondering what the gods think, it will depend. For example, Vestru probably doesn't care too much, unless, of course, your immortality is somehow a bane against the natural order of things.
Well, I mean, if it's... I think I have it a little easier, because I think it was Zephon, because I think I said certain things last night that could get me in trouble.
Yeah. The grandeur of speech that mortals speak when under the influence of revelry is probably less an affront to actual divine beings than we like to think.
And what is that? What about you? Does Vestru keep you from partaking in the revelry, or?
No, I just never found a taste for it. I like to keep my wits about me. You never know when duty calls.
Yes, like yesterday.
Yes.
Ruining. Perfectly good relaxation time.
Yes, that was unwanted. Or the disruption at the party days ago. And basically, the last week has kind of been an example of never knowing when to turn things off.
Yeah. It's exciting, isn't it?
That's a good word for it.
But we are on the right track.
Well, so far we seem to have at least hindered a larger ritual. So that seems to be a positive. If we can gather the missing, I think that politically we will have succeeded in the eyes of the empire, at least. Probably also the countries related to those who are missing. There is no coming back from what happened to the paladins, so that is going to be aftermath that someone will have to deal with, and I have no idea what else is going to happen.
Yes, well, the diplomats do have their work cut out for them. Hopefully it comes to that stage, but I mean, as irritating as those things were yesterday, that does mean we're on the right track, right?
Well,
We
that
don't
and
send those things unless someone's worried about something. Well, we made someone really mad.
yes, I mean we've obviously made someone mad who's powerful. I'm just curious as to whether or not the bounty had anything to do with it, or if it's simply the interruption of their infernal machinations.
Ooh, who do you think it is, Bounty? Is it you? Did you do something that had was worth? Everybody does have secrets.
Everybody does have secrets. That's true, but I don't know exactly how those who comfort others in their final moments can be worth that much money. Have I offended others by comforting maybe someone they wish I hadn't? Or, for example, saving someone whom others may wish I haven't? Sure, but to warrant that level of money, that's a little
Or do
more than I
you,
would ever presume
or,
be
or
my
does our
worth.
dear priest have a scandalous past that they just can't get past? Is that sort of thing? Or
Oh, I wish it would make
oh,
me much more interesting. I mean, we all have amongst our groups, I'm sure, ended the life of someone whom had others that they were dear to.
of course.
And that can warrant a bounty of sorts, but and maybe even just the title that I hold is enough for to become a target. But
Well, that's certainly one hell of a title if that gets the reception in certain places, of course.
it's a title that reflects a change in times. It's a title that is only active during major moments within the course of history. While I have no necessarily power over those moments, my existence is a sign of turmoil, typically.
That really must be troubling a certain aspect, being some sort of a embodied reason of change.
Yeah, I mean, my duty is to chronicle it for Yaraba, but it leaves you much closer to both the good and the heartbreaking than many wish to be close to.
Mm. Well,
I mean, I've watched the rise of different into the bodies in their wake. It's not the most uplifting experience.
can't imagine. I mean, most of my story songs are more comforting. They do have a little bit that, but it's a little more celebratory. People seem to like that a lot more. No one likes really, really sad things unless it's super romantic.
Now that is something that I think many people overlook. For many will dwell on the negative, though they are drawn to celebrations.
Well, I think that's just how people are. I don't think there would be as much demand for the things that I do if people had easy access to that all the time. Oh, this is a certainly deep conversation. I really wasn't expected to be having this early in the morning and in this state.
Well, you're welcome.
Well, speaking of, well, since we're down to brass tacks and business, important question. It regards all of us. A name. I'm not very good at names. ADA, do any ideas? for us in general.
No, for the
It's
group.
good. It's good luck. It's good luck to have that.
Oh, I don't know that I would be qualified. I have been mostly a lone traveler. Maybe Bandabras, who had been member of the Five Watchers, would have some sort of better insights than I.
If you think of one, we can like brainstorm. We think of one. Be sure to tell me because it
Do
seems
you have any
frivolous.
ideas?
I had some. They'll come back to me at a certain point. I don't think it's a little bit too early. I think they've been chased away for the brief moment by the ringing. But these things you kind of have to be proactive about, because if you do not, others name you and they tend not to be as good or maybe as charitable, depending, and you're stuck with it forever.
That is an excellent point. Society will fill in the blanks where blanks are left for them. I will think on it, though I cannot promise any sort of brilliance in this area.
Well, I figured, man of faith always have these good, important sounding names. I figured it was worth a shot.
I think that's more for the hierarchy of religions. I don't truly subscribe to such a thing. But then again, maybe that's because my role is kind of a step outside of such a thing.
I really don't know very much about it. Never been quite that. Not really one of the places that I have very much focus with.
We're going to slide the camera away as these two continue breakfast and debating what would be the appropriate name for their company as they're attempting to deal with some issues. I'm going to go check on Bandabras, who's apparently gone outside into the mountains.
Yes. I have need of earth and wood.
You can find such. You might have to go a little ways away from the main gates, which are these large, imposing, intricately carved, kind of tell the history of the dwarves, at least on this continent. Cast in bronze. You have to go a little ways away. They do have some sense of strategic maintenance in that they cut away a bunch of the trees that are right around the gates so that, you can't sneak up on them with, siege weapons. It's a thing.
Bandabras has quickly become accustomed to long walks. Gets to the tree line, passes through, and gathers up 7 branches.
7 branches of what?
What is local to here?
You probably have a lot of pine. Some good solid oaks at the lower levels of the hill trees. And hardy maple, too.
Probably maple branches in that case. 7 maple branches, and begins to carve the symbols for each of the 7 days. And assembles them in a circle. What did you say? Through blood and earth and good intent, all things are possible. I guess we'll give it a try.
Ooh. Our wizard's going to cast divine magic.
So with the circle, you will take a stagger.
Mm-hmm.
roll up one sleeve, drag across the back of the forearm, and let the blood drip on each of the branches.
I'm assuming you're being intelligent enough about this so that you're just bleeding yourself and not causing permanent harm and or
Yeah.
Good.
But I'll take the damage. I don't mind.
You were gonna take damage. That was gonna happen. It was just you're being intelligent in how you do this.
Yeah.
Because we're
mindful.
6 damage. Which is actually a good point for the 7 deities.
To Tamandra, let the sacrifice be one that calms your heart, focuses the mind. To Ashira, let this shed in love bring love forth. Master Tattoo, I give to the earth what the earth demands. Let that bring peace between us. Praxilus, I shed this with vengeance in my heart and justice needed. To Theprini, I am your child, and I give this for the knowledge for what I must do. Zephon, may the joy that you promise not be just a memory, but be in the hearts of all thy children. And to Vestru, who lays claim to all, I give this free of my will, that thy will be done. I want to know if they're alive or not.
You want to know what? I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
I want to know if they're alive or not. The last 3.
Which one are you casting? It depends on my answer. I need to know. Because there's different answers depending on which spell you cast.
Oh. Let's see here. From the list of spells. Sure.
Because there's augury, clairvoyance, divination, and commune.
Sure, I don't mind taking damage. Let's go with commune.
Go with commune. You can ask 3 questions and you'll get a yes or no answer.
That's very, very clear and simple.
Yes. If there isn't a clear answer, you will get an unknown. Or if there's a reason why I might change it, I might change it a little bit. So, your question.
Is Darius alive?
It's complicated.
Is Kaffir alive?
Yes.
Is Nyara alive?
It's complicated. And as you ask these questions, you have this circle around you, and after you finish this incantation, the blood that's kind of pooling on these sticks kind of drips down and pools into the center of the circle, swirling around and up and up and up, almost to a sphere-like space floating in midair around you, and that's what kind of gives you this answer. And on that, when you get to the end and all of the questions, each of the sticks you put up save are burning, lit alight, except for the one for Vestru. That seems to start to grow, sprout, with new growth. The others burn to ash, and the blood falls slowly into a pool, drips into the earth. As it does so, you see that stick that you planted for Vestru start to grow, shift, turn into a new sapling.
Like, at this point, like, now, even though it's not much damage, he's woozy. He's going to fall to his knees in front of this new sapling. I don't know how you all do that. I should probably talk with Happy about what possible sacrilege I just performed. But thank you.
It's complicated.
And eventually he'll get him off his knees and make his way back inside.
By the time you make your way back inside, again, you have to have time to go out beyond the tree line to make this ritual and come back. Breakfast is over. Where do we find Tibian? Just shopping?
Tibian, not even shopping. Tibian is genuinely just going around and meeting people. Just, going up to people in stalls and making conversation, walking up to people just walking, minding their own business, and introducing herself and being like, "Hi, I'm new in town. Do you have any recommendations?" And just, being just trying to get a lay of the land and a lay of the people.
A number of the merchants, the stalls, the food stalls will reach out and, be cordial with you, are really pleasant. There seems to be a positive vibe going from you in general. A number of people are also offering samples of whatever they're making. It's full on. By this point, you may have missed breakfast, but you're not hungry because it is full on going to Costco at 12 o'clock on a Saturday level of grazing that you're in. It's like, ooh, there's that tasting and that tasting, and ooh, somebody wants to hand me meat on a stick that's been fried in something. I don't care, that's going to taste really good.
I'm also, I was going to say the places, go ahead.
I hear the wild mountain mutton is amazing.
At the places where I was gonna say the places where I like the food the most. No, everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy like a serving of food to bring back to Pilter.
Yep.
And eventually get to the point where like I'm just bringing food for everyone in the infirmary essentially, and to the party, whatever. I'm very loose and happy with spending money to these people who are, giving out the goods that they have created.
And you've got a ungodly passive awareness, and you have the alert feat. Could you, as you're making your way through, by the time you're, getting ready, it's about 3/4, you're getting ready to kind of make your way back, mostly because you don't think even you could carry anymore. It's just by now the package, it's not really the weight, right? It's that now the packages are just too high to maintain the stability of, right? Like,
I mean, it's not a lot. It's hard to...
Like, yeah. I can't possibly carry anymore.
As you do so, you begin to realize that there's something off around you. But it's not pinging on your danger sense per se.
Uh-huh.
There's just something. It's not pinging on your danger sense, and it's not pinging on your small child who thinks I'm interesting sense. Like, you have those two separate awarenesses, right? Those are two separate things, particularly with Tibian, who's by this point established herself as, the fun aunt kind of person.
Yep.
You would stop and like entertain small children if you want. That's not what this is. You don't feel that kind of tingling on your back of your neck. You just feel something off, but not dangerous. It's like something's changed in the entire air around you. No one else seems to be reacting to it, but there's something.
I will I'm gonna look around in my surroundings, and I'm gonna look for a location that is not like very populated. Just because if this is something dangerous, because after the whole fiend thing, I don't know what people are capable of around me. I'm gonna find a less populated area, and I'm gonna feign like restacking the boxes to make it, more manageable to carry for myself. And I guess I will be doing that. But like, what I'm really gonna be paying attention is to the surroundings around me to see if I can like ascertain what is different around me, what is pinging my Tibian sense.
Yeah, you can roll perception if you want.
Okay. Hold on, let me take off advantage. Wait, hold on. I remembered last time that I have a stick that tells me that does things for me that I never pay attention to. Well, holding advantage on perception. Yeah. So I'll be holding onto the stick, and
it's on your person. You're holding it.
Yeah. So I'll keep that perception. 27.
27. That's really good. There's no one feels threatening, and as you look around, like nobody's paying more than just passing attention to someone who has literally carrying more boxes than they are tall. You know, there's that moment of like, huh, that's impressive. But most people are kind of going about their business. A couple of like the shopkeepers that are on one of the stalls that are kind of leaning forward watching you, but that's in that kind of level of like, huh, that's really kind of skilled level of Tetris packing here going on to ensure that it's, but nothing feels threatening.
Yeah.
No one else around you seems to be feeling this sensation. And it doesn't feel like there's anybody attempting to pickpocket you. There's none of that going on either. There's almost something like there's an anticipation in the air. Something heavy and watchful. But not close.
I am going to pick up my Tetris packages, and I'm going to, as hurriedly as I can, with an entire Amazon package tower of items back to the area that I know is nice and safe down where we're staying, in order to just like further investigate if this is a feeling that follows me, or if it was just a passing glance, figuratively or whatever. And the entire time I'm just going to like be just keeping an eye out
Mhm.
Especially in, although I don't think it's dangerous, I don't know. You get attacked from the shadows one too many times. You're gonna be a little paranoid about the shadows. So I'm gonna be paying attention to like every shadow I pass, looking up above me, just being overall perceptive as I make my way back with items.
You make your way back. The sensation does seem to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not closely. But you have that sensation of being watched
Mm-hmm.
and marked. But
Mm.
not... But the minute you make it back to the doors of the cavern that have these healing wards in it, and you get beyond a couple of the acolytes, the sensation just kind of stops. Like the door closes behind you and sensation stops.
I am going to look for Bandabreast or the speaker or whoever like tends to the runes and magics of this area. I'm gonna look for one of them while asking acolytes while I like pass out this tower of food that I'm carrying with me.
You can see a couple of the acolytes. The speaker doesn't seem to be present. I don't know if Bandabreast back from his excursion into the woods, and he's out of the woods and into the woods and out of the woods.
He's home before dark. Sure, I can see him being there. He's a little out of it, but I can see him being back in the temple right around the time Tibian arrives.
I'm gonna like, it's gonna be one of those things where like I pass out boxes and it covers my face so I can't actually see in front of myself. And then when I'm turning to like give out another package, suddenly Bandabreast is there. And I'm just like, oh, Bandabreast. And I look at the closest acolyte and I'm like, I give them the packages that I'm the rest of the packages that I'm holding at this point, probably like half the stack. And I'm just like, if you would be so kind to continue to pass these out, I have something I have to speak to Bandabreast with. And I'm just like, Bandabreast. Okay, so I'm not a magic person. Are you okay? You look a little gray. And you know what? Answer that after I tell you this. There is so I was, out, I was shot, getting to know the town, the city, and I felt weird. I felt not exactly in danger, but I felt weird. And it was to a point that I felt like I was being watched. And as I kept going, I kept having this feeling, this instinct. And so and after last night, I decided to come back here, knowing that this place was safe. However, as soon as I crossed the threshold in this magic-y space, I stopped feeling that sensation. And I wanted to know if there is a specific magic in the area that would stop something like that from me experiencing that, if that is some sort of scrying thing, if that is a sort of different magics that I don't know. But I definitely felt like I was being... I was being watched much too closely.
What you're describing, and you very well hit the nail on the head there, good on you, is a divination effect. Probably some form of sensor that is tracking you and coming into a place that is hallowed and warded. Oftentimes is able to break the effects of a scry.
Well, so new news. I was being scried upon and I was being watched as I was walking the city. By whom? Obviously, I do not know. But I definitely felt like someone was like, okay, this is where this person is. Let me put a pin in that.
Remembering something of how we said previously after yesterday's assault. Uh, I don't want to assume. But have you in the past previously significantly inconvenienced, wronged, and/or killed anyone of import?
Of import? I mean, it was a very long time ago. I don't even know if they're still alive. I there was a time when me and my friends did stop a coup from happening in a city. Um, they did kill one of us, so we came back and we're better now. But that's maybe a thing. I'm also just like a council member in Sakel, you know.
Politics
People
does some things, but usually when one is messing with the higher mysteries, that motivation comes from a place of either love or hate.
yeah, aside from that, there were some zombie bushes that we defeated once. And now knowing about all of that is happening with the undead, maybe someone was upset about that. I'm sure that was to some evil gods that was happening. I mean, nothing good ever comes from the undead, you know this. But that was also a long time ago. So I'm not.
I am not familiar with zombie bushes. That's a new one. And considering what I've experienced, that is saying something.
It is a
Okay.
very good story. If you ever want to hear it, I'm totally here.
I have a feeling that this is what our good prince would refer to as a one drink minimum. I am far too sober for that.
Fair enough.
But
Well, it's a very large.
let's test the theory.
Okay.
Casting non-detection on Tibian. Go back out and see if you feel the thingy.
Okay. I'm gonna pick a tiny pastry off one of the packages that Acolyte is passing out. I'm gonna walk back out, munching on this pastry. I'm gonna do that thing like I slide out one step outside of the area of safety and see if I feel anything.
Cool.
That's not concerning at all. Go ahead.
You don't feel the You don't feel the sensation.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a heaviness in the air that feels like magic is in the air. But you don't feel it focused on you.
I'm gonna stay out there for like a solid 5 minutes just to get like a vibe check on what's happening. If nothing changes, if that's the same sensation I feel over the 5 minutes, I'll enter back. And after I round the corner, I'll be like, well, so not exactly on me did I feel anything in particular, but I did feel like a heavy blanket of magic, like a magic presence. Does that make sense?
It's a number of spells that can.
You could roll Arcana to know.
Certainly. Let's try that.
So it's the pastry that did it.
18.
It sounds like that it might because it sounds like you went outside, you came inside, then you cast non-detection, then you went back outside, but you still felt the presence of magic in the air, but not necessarily on you. Seems more like something like an arcane eye than perhaps general scrying.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a very specific series. Either many or specific sensors in the area. Good news is that's not simple magic. Bad news is that's not simple magic. Well, there's a number of ways that we can try and deal with this. One is simply dispel and just go. Screw your magic. Another way is to try and using detect magic to get an idea of the individual resonance of the caster, and then possibly using other magics trace things back to their origin. Complicated, and if they're using those levels of spells, if they have any sense of security and practice the Emperor's art, that's not going to be easy. But I leave it to you to decide whether or not we should go with trying to follow that line of inquiry or just cut them off.
I mean, we're at a crossroads, right? With our investigation, we know we have saved the clerics as of now, although we are still missing a few. And the next step was to prevent war, which is very broad when you think about it. So I think any lead we can find, I'm perfectly happy to walk back to be the bait on this one if it will get us any information.
Well, you're no longer going to be bait, not for some time with that non-detection spell up. And I'd rather the fastest of us be, a surprise. So should someone decide to show up.
I mean, they did seem a very impressive box maneuvering. So,
yes, but having now seen you work in multiple instances, you just suddenly appearing and then hitting them in some place that is important to them, and possibly their lineage, I think is a good way of preventing further war or damage.
you have a point. You have a point. So yes, if we would like to follow this line, I'm perfectly happy. Although, and like I look at you again. I can't exactly like reach your face to like slap your cheek a little bit, but it definitely looks like I want to. You are looking a little pale. Are you sure you are okay?
I did something entirely questionable and not within my wheelhouse. I probably
Ooh.
should speak to Harvey about it.
Ooh, that's interesting. Are you okay?
Honestly, no.
Oh. Do you wish to speak about it?
Not especially, considering I'm still feeling about the ramifications of everything I've done in a desperate case.
Okay. But if you ever want to speak about it, I will be happy to. 1 drink minimum, if that makes you feel better.
Yes. Have you ever experienced the joy that is pear schnapps?
I cannot say I ever have.
elven creation.
Hmm.
It barely works on them. But on everyone else, it hits like a truck.
Well, then now I'm
Well, it
very
hits like
interested.
a carriage. No,
A
it
drag? I've never
is.
heard of that.
Hits like a carriage. It's incredible, and it doesn't burn.
Oh no, that is very interesting.
Yes.
No, absolutely. I am 100% down
When we
to
finally
have some
make
peach
it
nuts.
to Uraba, yes, there is a
I s-
beach, there is a tower, and there is pear schnapps.
Oh, I shall hold you to it then, because that
Please
sounds
do.
like a wonderful time.
All right.
And I think that is where we're going to take the break for the evening, so that we can come back and perhaps find out what's going on. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But get up, stretch, bio, do all of those important things, hydrate, and we will be back in about 8 minutes, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We hope you are refreshed, you stretched, hydrated, all of those good things. And now we get to ask the question of, so Tibian and Bandabris were talking about possibly trying to figure out whom exactly was perhaps attempting to observe individuals inside the healer's ward from a discreet location. And this then leads to the next question of, are the two of you informing anyone else about this plan that you have?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So I think this is the point where it's, where would we find Javi and Fio at this point?
That's a good question. I think Javi would probably be in the infirmary, kind of checking on the clerics.
So you would have
And-
seen Tibian come in with the giant pile of boxes.
Correct.
And then heard me speaking to Bandabris as we walked away.
Yeah, like maybe not what was said, but that there was a conversation.
Yeah. So definitely as probably on the tail end of, I will definitely hold you to that. Please do. We'll come in and we'll see Javi sitting there, and I'm like, oh, Javi, if you have a moment, please, can we speak to you?
Yeah, he'll finish up with whichever cleric he was kind of talking to, and excuse himself and make his way over.
Some of them have already left and headed home because teleportation.
Fair.
Good for them.
I will have made note of those
Mhm.
to report back.
Okay. Now we just have to find Theo. Have you seen her? I asked Javi.
I saw her at breakfast, but she returned, I believe, to her room afterwards.
Makes sense. And I will speed away to. I'll be right back, and I'll speed away to where I believe Theo's room to be. Be like, knock, knock, knock.
Yep. Open. Oh, hey, hello.
Hello. How are you feeling this morning? How long did you go last night?
It's hard to tell. I can't really tell usually it's when the sun almost rises up top, but I here can't really tell what time it's, but I think we went pretty late, decently late. A lot of them did not necessarily have the energy to follow, but we did what we could.
Oh, well, it is not every day you get to enjoy the presence of the great Fiorella.
Oh, flattery. I didn't promise to do anything in the morning, right?
No,
Okay,
no,
good.
no.
Good. I recall you had some ideas of what to do in the morning. I didn't remember if I was part of that, but good.
No, after you said you were gonna go to the next bar, I realized, maybe I should let Theo sleep in. I can go speak to people myself.
Thank you. How'd that go, by the way?
Very well. So long as we get this teleportation circle in, I believe we will have some of the freshest pastries to leave Posalov in, honestly, the entire empire. So I'm very excited. So long as we just get that teleportation circle in.
Also better destination for home, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We don't see sun. Seeing a lot of sun, seeing a nice beach is life-changing. Right?
That is what I am saying. If we have resorts coming in, honestly, I think
Of
this is going
course.
to be a great boom for Sakal. I mean, so long as the world doesn't end, I think that things are going to go very well for Sakal.
Yeah, it seems so. I would definitely love to check those out. Second you get the world doesn't end, and we can have extended victory celebration vacation.
Exactly, an
Maybe
extended
drag the rest
vacation.
of
It would be
them.
nice. Yes, especially Bandibus. I think he spoke about the beach, so I think he understands the concept of relaxing. I think we really just need to get to that next hurdle into actually.
Yes, concept into actual reality is a certain thing to get past. Some people usually when they've been around books too long, it's like the theoretical it becomes just as good as the actual, but reality it's not.
Speaking of books, so when I was coming back from honestly, if we get back in time, there might still be some pastries. I
Mhm.
bought a lot on the way
Oh.
back.
Oh, so you
Um,
did checking so you did check out the local delicacies and spots in the
Oh,
morning?
absolutely. I walked
Excellent.
like the entire street. It was a lot of fun. The only reason I came back, honestly, is because I was afraid that one more box was gonna tip everything over.
That many. Oh, what you
It was everyone is very friendly here. You don't hear a lot about Posala, but it's very friendly, except for the fact that I was being spied upon. Although I do not believe from here in Posala.
No, really?
Yes,
Hmm.
Vanderbrus believes it to be an arcane eye. Don't know
Okay.
much about it.
So, but do you
Um,
have any idea who has their eye on you? No.
no, that is what we were about to figure out. We just got Javi. So we would like to fill both of you in. So let's go meet up with the boys
Oh, of course.
and
Oh, plan sounds great. Let's figure out who's doing this.
yes.
You have also have excellent timing. The effects of night have kind of waned.
Oh, that is good.
So,
I did
all
not know
good.
what time it was, but by how busy the streets were, I believed it was about the time. You would be okay.
Excellent. Oh well. Soon. Oh, if everyone's waiting, it's not right. Let's not wait then.
It's like, let us go. And if you are walking, I'm like, oh, you really are feeling better, not even floating.
That was this morning, unfortunately.
And we'll meet up with Bandivers and Javi and Thorn, in theory.
Yeah, Thorn is with you all. If you need him to do something, he is there. Support you.
More.
Human sacrifice.
Even with his big old even with his sickle and mace and shield. So
Oh, what is the plan?
Roughly to use detect magic to try and find the sensor. And then once doing that, try and read the resonance of the particular matrix, and then use that to either with usage of some wealth, cachet this time, either find a locate creature spell using said resonance, or possibly do a scry. So that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we trip some sort of mystical alarm and we have even more draconic things.
Well, if that's the case, maybe we can actually get some information out of them this time. Maybe.
Mm. That's probably doubtful. I don't think
It's always worth a try.
that they would speak.
I mean, insult us, maybe. Even that will give us a little bit of information.
Possibly.
And this time, we will be ready.
Yes, we'll not be in the middle of a hot springs this time. As fun as that was. So
True.
let's do it.
Right. Well, let's get detect magic up and then step outside. So use first level slot. And cast Detect Magic.
So you are casting Detect Magic as you exit doors of the healing ward. And again, these are... It's like a small hospital. A number of caverns and warrens that are kind of interconnected. But back on the main the door that leads to the main thoroughfare, are you all going together?
I mean, it makes sense if we are.
I just need to know what's happening. Logistic question. I'm sorry, I'm being a GM. Like, are you like full on Magnificent Seven Samurai striding out of this door together in a group in a straight line? I mean, are you Butch and Sundance doing Sundance in this?
And if we go in a group, we go in a group. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, going in a group is fine. I think under the circumstances, Javi will actually wear his cloak. Hood up.
The hood is up on the cloak.
And he blinks out of existence.
Mm-hmm.
Feel we'll do the opposite of that. It's gonna be like it'd be the nice kind of like metallic orange and blue dress this time.
Ooh.
Very stylish.
I will follow Vandaburst's lead.
Just going about and doing the typical wandering
so-
around.
So like going out for round 2 of Bach. There are some stores I did not hit up, so I will be happy to.
Javi will whisper to the group, well, if we end up going past this wand shop, I have a order to pick up.
Oh, well,
Ooh.
might as well pick it up. Might as well do multiple things. If we're here, pick it up. Also check if there's other
Multitask.
things.
So do you have Detect Magic up, correct?
Yes.
Oh, there's so much.
As you come out, it is not hard for you to detect the quiver in the air of the ending you're guessing based on time of an arcane eye that was focused doors.
I would like to try and grab as much of whatever sort of resonance is there, if there is any resonance to be had.
Mm-hmm.
To get an idea, possibly, should I see another casting, recognize the caster.
Roll an Arcana.
Mm.
$23.
You feel like you get a general understanding of this caster. They're not someone you believe you've met, or at least this magic isn't something that feels familiar to Bandabris in any way. But it's also oddly, for lack of a better term, flavorless. It doesn't feel like either arcane or divine magic. It doesn't feel like infernal casting. It feels bland.
Then make a double check that, because I have a feeling this might be something that's mechanical in nature, but I don't know if I've experienced, magic being cast from an item enough to recognize that sort of resonance.
Mm-hmm. So what are you rolling?
This feels like either this is an insight based upon his previous experience or another Arcana check. I'll let you choose.
I think insight is going to be the best thing here because you
Okay.
got what you would have gotten with an Arcana.
18.
With an insight, it definitely seems like there's something that you have not experienced before. This kind of magic feels like there was something there was some step in whatever cast this that removed the caster from the equation, right?
Here it is.
So it could have been the caster created an object and someone else activated the object that released the spell, which you have some understanding of the theory of like scrolls and whatnot. Even non-casters can theoretically use them, not well, but they can. Or someone with an enchanted item, that those people can activate it. So but even then that most of the time you can usually tell if it's divine or arcane, and you just can't tell on this one.
That's one. The spell is about just over into. Can't tell if it's arcane or divine. Something's yes. It's devoid of resonance. Just tastes funny.
You can taste magic?
Whenever you using divination, the manifestation can change depending on the spells that are being discerned. And it also varies with the caster. Some those often of elven descent, magic has a almost like musical resonance to their ears. Those of dwarven descent can sort of like feel it in the bones. Me, I taste things.
Interesting. So you believe it to be someone casting this on something else, so it leaves no trace of who they are?
Could be, but the fact that there's absolutely no resonance whatsoever, it feels like there's an additional step that I'm not aware of within my magical practice. Like this could be something ritual, or it could be mechanical. I would need to experience it more, or possibly hit up Yuraba's libraries and do some deep research to try and find something that matches this bizarre resonance. I should say lack thereof.
Not unheard of for people who are good with subtlety to scrub their signature from their spells.
There's masking and then there's this. Like, I know of being able to try and copy someone's resonance, or some mages who like to declare themselves by having something quite over the top. That's absolutely their signature. This, because I can't, since the origins of how it's woven, it confuses and compels me.
But we can be sure that Tibian is the subject of the focus of this thing.
Not necessarily. I felt that it was staring at the doors.
Oh,
Interesting.
Is this the sort of thing that can be cast from afar, or do you have to be in certain vicinity for it to be cast?
If they're using an item, distance could be significant. but locality could be local, but I would, with all the steps involved, I'm not certain, but I want to say no. This is just very strange. I wonder if it has more to do with that alarm that went off. You hang things in an alarm spell if you're good enough. And they were definitely well prepared.
I mean, they immediately sent assassins after us.
But we sure that came from them. It's a question. There's just so much hanging around. Anyway, let's go shopping. I feel that we need to be refreshed. This is going to be in the back of my head until we get some answers.
Well, we just need to operate with the understanding that we are being watched. So I would say just be careful about everything until we are in an area like the infirmary.
Or as Darius would, be extra uncareful. Be gauche, be loud, be irritating, nauseating.
If everyone's noticing you, it's almost as if no one's noticing you.
True.
That's usually not how that works, but I'll take this particular example into.
Think about doing everything that Mouth does, but make it louder and sexier.
Are you sure you really want that?
Well, if we're being watched, might as well give them a show.
That goes usually against everything that. Usually you have to. Yes, well. Certain examples, but yes, I get your meaning.
Okay, well, I am very excited to see a ghost flashy, loud band of us.
I need more alcohol for that.
I
That
know
we can
a
take care of.
great bar.
I need alcohol and ham.
I
Ham.
also know a great ham place. I just saw it down. It is like a 5-minute walk from here.
Also, you are missing something. If you're gonna be loud, you're gonna need something. I think since we're going shopping, we can get that accomplished.
As well.
Let's go. I am excited.
I have a concern.
We're dashing around here. There are multiple. Theo knows them. They're closed.
So, where are you going first?
Let's get,
I like in order of the street, I guess.
Mhm.
Like if we get to Javi's wand shop first, we'll stop by there. Then we'll stop by the bar.
So,
Grab ham if it's on the way.
you can find the wand shop will be, because it's set back between, this endless little alleyway between these two places, other stores on the main thoroughfare. And so you can get to the wand shop, the enchanters, before you get to the bar that was known for its tapas, kind of, and because those are ideal junk food.
If we're
So-
going to the wand shop, Theo's gonna peel off and go to the clothing thing.
It's a
Make
little
it-
ways
make it-
down, but you can get there, yeah?
Yep.
So we'll go to the wand shop first. Javi, as you re-enter, it's been a few hours. It's after lunch by this point.
He'll pull back his hood as he walks inside.
you hear a loud clatter and bang coming from the back room, and then a ha-ha! Success!
I have returned. Have you been successful?
And you just kind of see, the rest of you see this tiny gnome with huge Coke bottle glasses just kind of slide them off. And, you know, like, lift them up off their face and blink at you and then realize that they moved their glasses away from their face and put them back on. It's like, you are friends! We have good things. We have wands, we have staffs, we have everything you need.
Yes, and a very large ledger of what's in stock. I'm here for the wand of sending.
Yes, wand sending. One with a little bird thing. I had a lot of fun with that. Hold, please. And they jump down. Again, it's this, the display case is, set in this kind of a little low for humans and elves and orcs, but a little high for dwarves, gnomes, and halflings. Just that kind of like trying to split the difference between whatever. And there's a running board along the base of the display counter for those of the shorter stature to step up onto if they wish to. Not that they really need to. The gnome disappears like underneath and then pops back out. Ha ha! Success! Here! And hands you a box. Very nicely kind of paper folded, stiffened paper folded box with a little cut lace work on it. A wand of sending with birds.
Excellent.
What else can I get you and your wonderful friends? By the way, that'll be 300 cold. I hope you're having a pleasant day.
Javi will actually pass a 300 gold piece diamond that he's given from time to time for reviving people and never has to use.
Ooh, shiny. I appreciate your trade, sir. Come back again. We'll give you a discount.
Oh.
Mechanically speaking, this is a wand of sending, and I rolled for it. It has 6 charges. It recharges every day. Used charges every day at dawn. If you use more than 6, you have to roll a d20, and on a 20 it explodes, dealing 5d6 damage to everyone around it.
Gotcha. So we said 6 charges, 1d6 at dawn.
Mm-hmm. No, it recharges all its spent charges at dawn.
Oh. Recharges all at dawn.
However, if you use all the 6 charges during the day, you roll a d20. And on a 20, it explodes, dealing 5d6 damage to everyone around you.
Gotcha.
Hell yeah.
Breaking the wand, i.e. casting Dispel, Disintegrate, or any of the other major break magical items, will also cause it to explode. So the tiny gnome looks at your friends and says, "So, what can I get you? Wands, staves? We have some very nice polearms. They light up in fire and then you stab people with them when they're on fire."
Fiery polearm is actually pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorites.
I don't think I need anything. I will look around the shop politely.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at all the interesting thing again, kind of just like being happy that I'm outside of my own town and being able to actually see things on counters and on shelves without like having to step really far back so I could actually see them. Really just taking in that like experience of just like, oh, a place made for people who are not all tall.
Yes. Side story from your GM. The first time I got on the subway or the skyway in Bangkok. I was like, wait, I can actually reach the handbar at like a normal height? What? It was great. Yes. So this is much more made for those of shorter stature. Your little gnome friend is very excited, by the way, as you're looking around.
I mean, I would be greatly excited also, but I'm full attunement, so like I'm just like looking around to see if there's anything of interest. Although I'm not particularly looking for anything at the moment.
Okay. Do you need anything, Bandibris? Wands, staves, rods.
Random pole arm or sword or pocketbook.
Need is always a strong word. There are many things to be desired. There are very few things I need.
Mm-hmm. How can we help you today? What would make your life better?
Do you have anything that makes a grumpy Abajurer happy?
Oh, wait, hold on. Goes down, comes back up, brings the giant ledger up, drops it on the counter, flips back and forth quickly. You said Abdra, right? Grumpy Abdra, right?
Correct.
I've got the tripwire of nope.
He'll just turn to Bandibris and say, well,
That sounds more of a Malik-like device, but I'm curious.
Okay, so it is, here, hold on. It's designed so that you lay it around in a circle. Mechanically speaking, it is designed, it's a rope that will go in a 50-foot diameter circle of space that acts as both an alarm spell and a wall of force when tripped by those who are not keyed to the spell. You can key up to 10 creatures of your choice to this item to not trip the spell, but anyone else would count as trigger the alarm and the wall of force.
Hello, audience. It's Poe. This is an amazing item. An item, not that Bandibris cannot be trusted with, but I cannot be trusted. Because I will not use it for good. No, no, no. I will use it for terrible, terrible purposes. And so we're declining this delightful item. Because I cannot be trusted with it.
Oh no, I did say tripwire of nope. It's a tripwire
Yes.
of nope.
But if I get fed up with either of the bards, there is going to be a terrible, terrible hell to pay. Because I like Goldberg machines, and this is step one. I am not allowed this item.
oh, are you sure? Because I think the chaos will be fun.
No. This is how D&D becomes paranoia. We don't want that.
Fair.
This is how you get the ABC gun in Scrub Bots. I cannot be. I know myself. I cannot be trusted with this. Other people may be trusted. The trip rope of nope do not apply to the Pope.
So,
The spirit of Mousetrap compels you.
I play rogue wizards for a reason. Don't. Just don't. Not with this one.
Oh, too much fun. All right, well. It seems like that item is just bringing too much joy. Do you have any-
I do have a thing that I would like to give you some of my theories and design specifications to use at a later date, because this is going to be more of a long-term project.
Sure. What am I building? How much do you need, and how long is it going to take me? I mean, admittedly, time is relative, and I'll have a lot more of it than you will. But there's that.
Very true. This is a crystalline explosive device. That is tied to an anti-magic circle.
You'd have to get a shit ton of mithril, and I don't know that Darasov is going to export that much.
I was thinking instead of using mithril, a combination of diamonds, diamond dust, and blood.
You have a couple humans you don't want to sacrifice for that? Because you need that much blood.
I don't have to sacrifice entire humans. I just need to get enough blood from enough humans.
We'll talk. You can come back. I like you. You have interesting ideas.
Plus, if we can find that prince, I'm certain he likes to bleed people.
There's a long pause on that statement. No, I do not know any princes that like to bleed people. That seems inappropriate. We're not going to do that. I make wands.
Fair enough.
And you do an excellent job. Thank you so much.
Have a very pleasant day, and sure, I like you. And small person too. You're cool.
We'll be off and looking for Theo in the...
Theo is looking for a haberdasher, correct?
You're muted.
Yes.
What kind of haberdashery are we looking for? Men's, women's?
Men's.
Men's haberdasher. You met someone in the bar last night, so you do know generally where they are. I just need you to roll me a survival.
Oh boy. Oh boy, survival. Good.
See if you can understand that. Remember the directions that they gave you last night when you were slightly verschnookered.
Oh boy, let's see. Actually, it's not the 14.
14? It's not. It takes you a couple minutes because you have to reorient yourself and So just about, you're just entering the haberdashery. Is there, it's also further down the main thoroughfare towards where you guys arrived at the central point with the teleportation circle, from where this wand shop is. And so it's a little further down on a little side street, and you kind of turn around and come here, and then you have to go around and come back and then go down the side street again. Takes you a little bit to find, but you do. It's a very, very quaint, quiet shop. Beveled windows that actually look out onto the street. A rotating stand, free motion, with its rotating through 4 different hats on a circle that rotates by itself, and then there's a second layer that also with 3 hats that rotates in an opposite direction. So you've got 2 circles going in opposite directions.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Bia will enter and just make her way to the there's an assistant or anybody that works at the
you met the dwarf who Rummel, who the dwarf who owns this. He was distinctive because of his very intricate prosthetic hand that he kept, and as a bar trick, he kept replacing the different attachments on his hand. It led to some very interesting drinking games about whether or not he could balance a beer bottle on the spatula attachment of his hand. He's standing at the counter, looks up and goes, "Ah, Lady Theo, welcome to my fine establishment. I am glad that you could come. What can I do for a person of your radiance?
You are just the person that could help me. And I just remembered with our fun from last night, specifically that you had an impressive shop, and much impressive as it is, figured that you were the person that could help me with this.
But of course, how may I help you, your divine radiance?
Oh, thank you. Uh, I do have a friend that requires a little bit of a upgrade in style.
What kind of style are we working from?
We're looking from wallflower to not all the way radiance, but just like part. We don't want to scare him. It's one of the
So perhaps a
academics.
glow? Oh, an academic.
Academic, yes.
I understand.
Wanna
Hold
be
on.
impressive,
We're
wanna
not going all the way to even glow.
No, we can't.
We
We can't go. I would.
Phosphorescent.
My own personal sense of style is probably too much for them, but what we're looking for is specifically going from what I would say a worn gray, wizards, the wide brim, the top, just wool, treated fabric, wool, that sort of thing. But we want he's traveling with me, so he has to be in some sort of style. So I figured something that fits that sort of aesthetic, but something that will make a sharp statement, maybe a little bit of intimidation in there. It will be for field work, so it will have to have that sort of thing. Slightly intimidating to enemies and impressive to allies and friends, that sort of thing.
Intimidating, okay. We're going for intimidating. Is he a distinguished fellow? Is he tall? Is he short? I need a little bit more.
About average, a little bit on the it's a little bit of a slouch there. It's a little very in his work.
I have a couple ideas we could work with. Did you said, do we want to stay with the same color pattern, the same aesthetic, or are we going for something a little fancier, a little more?
Something that would be like 30% outside of that aesthetic, but still remaining. That will, of course, have to kind of mesh with something a little more subtle. You know how they are. Usual folks from the academy, cloaks.
Yes, yes.
They do have a tendency to look just like walking, pile of blankets at certain points. But yeah, nothing can be helped. That's just their style. It would help them in their job. They, had a little bit of flair and then just like tend to blend in with each other.
I have some ideas here. I think this will actually work. Hold, please. And he starts pulling a bunch of pieces and working, and there's this low-level hum in the air as he starts working, and you see a number of crystals start to light up. All right, I think this will work, and this will work. Give me about an hour.
Oh, of course. I will. You know what? I trust in your. But we will stop by and we'll have it be a surprise for him. And then this might help. She'll do a minor illusion of like what he looks like.
Oh, I can do a lot with that. Thank you very much. I appreciate.
Yes. Always good to have actual point of reference. It helps a lot. Each person is very different. I know.
Yes, we can do much with this. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. Absolutely. I am excited to see what you have. This is always the best. It's honestly always the best part is to see what you artists create for for us and be able to just see that in person. Ideas on there, of course. It's just a joy.
So you are coming toward back to the others are coming to you.
I think we're gonna get that drinking, and then we will come back.
Okay. So you will probably meet them on the street.
Yes. Job is done. It's gonna be an hour, so why don't we have that light revelry, and then we'll see. We'll see.
Right. I guess it's time for.
Oh! Before I forget, anything good? Did you find anything good at the any new acquisitions from the shop?
I picked up my order, which I'm very happy with. Yeah, Vanderbris was skeptical about its own self-control around an item that was offered to him, so we did not purchase anything else.
Ooh, what item?
A tripwire of sorts, an abjurer's special, alarms and walls and things of that nature.
There's a reason that the Guards and Wards spell is limited in scope and splash zone. Same thing with the symbol spell. Give an abjurer enough time. There is a known tendency that all of a sudden some of the more insular of us live in towers that have way too many traps in them.
Also for recreation, so yes.
Recreation.
Like I said, they spend a lot of time in towers and that sort of thing. But enough of that. You didn't get it, so that's not much of an issue.
In that case, I need to introduce you to Dwarven vodka.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we've been well acquainted previous thing and recently.
No, my dear lady, you have enjoyed it in the commoner's fashion. Today we will play the game of kings.
How fucking dare you? I have drank alcohol that would make you black out, see shit, see things that you have never seen. So I will see what this fabled drink is and judge it accordingly.
Try and keep up.
Ooh, we drinking.
It'll be
I
hell of
feel a
Telling.
drinking contest coming on. Please, audience, place your bets. Tibian, Javi, what are you doing while the shots start coming out?
I'm asking for a MLT. Where the
Mutton,
mutton's
lettuce, and
very
tomato when the
lean.
mus is
Yes.
very lean.
Mhm.
Yes.
Indeed.
So perky.
I'll I'll ask for a couple of shots and also a tapas platter.
Meat or veg or meat and cheese. There is no vegetarian option. It's meat or meat and cheese.
Meat and cheese, please.
Okay, very good. Nice balance of, hams and salamis and a couple cheeses come out in a minute or two. The MLT, really nice big pub style sandwich, almost the size of your head, which is interesting because it's the size of a elf proportion versus a dwarf proportion. You're not quite sure that a dwarf could actually get their jaw to unhinge enough to get it in their mouth, but it is very
We
good.
can certainly try.
It depends on the dwarf, I'm sure.
This is true.
I'm setting aside the ham on my plate over to Vanderbrush, just pushing it over to him.
My good sir, I require a few things. One, I want a full roasted ham hock. Two, I want 2 loaves of your crustiest bread. 3, a bottle of vodka, the good stuff. And 2 of your tallest shot glasses, please.
All right, we take. There is. He looks at you, looks at the other people on the table. I would like to remind you that you drink at your own risk, and it is not our fault, or in that we do not indemnify you if you start vomiting, change colors, and/or possibly black out.
I think that's why he brought a cleric.
Always a good thing to do. Go drinking with a cleric. Bread, ham, sliced even because they're nice for you.
Also, because there has been a bit of doubt and insult, your spiciest mustard, please.
All right, I've got the pepper one and I've got the stone ground. We'll go with the pepper. Is good. Oh, horseradish, even better. Mustard. And then a couple other things start coming out. All right, everybody, you've got drinks, you have things. Skull. And he walks, the bartender, the waiter walks away.
And Vanderbilt takes folds it neatly, puts it to the side, takes out his knife, begins cutting some bread, slathers both pieces of bread with the mustard. Some slices of ham, puts that on a plate to the side, takes the shot glasses, pours 2. Here's, you make yourself what you want to eat. You take a bite, and then you drink this as fast as you can. You try and keep up.
That's cute.
By all means, we're going to have fun. Bite.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I need Constitution saving throws from both Bandabris and Theo for round 1 of this drinking contest.
16.
12.
It is beginning to affect you. You can feel it taking effect, and you realize it doesn't have a flavor on that first swallow, but then it hits you and you're like, oh, this is actually stronger than what we were drinking last night. By a little bit, but not a lot. Javi, oh, I feel like we need a music change. Music starts playing. Javi and Tibian, what are you doing?
I took a sympathy shot with them. Although I'm only gonna take a couple of shots, I'm not interested in getting fucked up this early in the day. So I take a sympathy shot with them at first, and I'm just sitting there and I'm watching the people around us.
Well, then I need you to take a Constitution saving throw as well.
Oh.
$16.
16.
It's got a good flavor, a little bit of a burn. You're pretty sure if you kept drinking this, it would definitely affect you. But you've already planned to moderate yourself.
I'm just watching, very entertained, eating my sandwich.
It's a very good MLT.
Yes, eating my tapas.
Very good.
I honestly just came to for the entertainment purposes.
Let's get going.
Yes, let's do it. This.
Ooh.
22.
15.
Why do you have advantage?
Because I have resilience.
Oh, that's right, you do. that is correct. I had forgotten that. That's why I ask.
I also forgot about that until I remembered. Like, I thought I had. Like, okay, yes.
So you are, you definitely feel it starting to affect you. It's a little disorienting. You go, you know, you're in the buzzed stage of alcohol consumption at the moment.
I think Fia will kind of put her head down and just kind of like groan, and then just get back up. It's like, no, still have one more left, or more. Let's go.
All right. $24.
Right. 29.
You do manage to like you force yourself up to sitting, and you are, you know, at this point feeling a beginning of you like Theo, you set yourself up and you force yourself up to shake it off a little bit. Vanderbush, you feel it starting to affect you. You think you can keep going, both of you, if you wish. There's another 2 shots in this bottle.
Got a little bit of a sway there. How is it going?
Oh, I'm fine.
Really?
Well, I'm the one that's been eating more of a sandwich. I know you have to watch your figure.
Absolutely. What's your excuse for that sandwich? Eat. Yep.
$21.
19.
So this is what's going to happen. Six, cool. Good to know.
Oh.
You are both currently... Bandibus, you are buzzed. Theo, you are drunk. You are also now in both, because you are now with just pure number of rounds, into the poisoned condition. Which means you both have disadvantage on abilities checks and saving throws, because you are poisoned by alcohol, because it's a poison.
Mm-hmm.
Avi, since you're just watching all of this,
We're kidding.
Oh, yes. It's quite entertaining.
you notice that they're both getting... Well, Theo is much more drunk at this point than Bandibus is, but she is still up and talking.
The body remembers what its state was this morning.
Mm-hmm. Could you... Oh, no, PB, you are also aware. Could either one of you roll perception? I will say that Bandibus and Theo are
We're
poisoned.
We're busy.
we're busy.
Sure, I'm happy to see if I'm perceptive at all.
24 and a 23. Tibian, that sensation is back. And Javi, you feel that sensation of being watched as well.
Ah.
But
I
there's a
Go ahead.
fine drinking party going on in front of you.
I am gonna stand up and be like, you guys did it, and I'm gonna slap both of them on the back. And as I slap both of them on the back, I do it with the rod in hand, and I would like to cast Detect Magic, just to see what's happening. If
Through
there's
the
anything
rod?
in particular, see? Yeah, through the rod. And I start making like a ruckus, like shaking Bandabruss's shoulder and like congratulating Theo as I see her start swaying, just making a little bit of a ruckus as I do so,
Okay, so
as per the plan.
you can sense that you see a faint aura as you're looking around of a object floating in midair that is invisible.
Mm-hmm.
That's targeted on your table. And it's like above and to the left of where you generally are at the moment. And it seems to have some sort of additional divination magic attached to it.
I am gonna look at Javi and be like, do you need anything else? You know what? I'm gonna order some bread for
Wait a
Theo.
minute. Actually, hold on. You don't do any of that. Fun fact about Detect Magic, it only lets you know about visible magical creatures or things.
No.
Oh, fun. Because there was a reason I had the rod before you said anything. I was just kind of waiting for you to finish.
Yeah.
I was so instead of Detect Magic, because we've been sitting here causing a ruckus for a while, and I'm paranoid now. I was gonna cast See Invisibility like I was last time before we got jumped. So I'm gonna cast See Invisibility, same movement. I'm just like, hey, good job, and I cast See Invisibility with the rod instead of Detect Magic.
Yes. Then we go back and you see a round sphere about 12 inches in diameter floating above you, focused on your table.
So I look at Javi and I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are crazy. Do you want something? I think I'm gonna order Theo some bread, and I like grab the rod and I'm like, hey, can we get another crusty bread over here? And like as I like after I stop waving, I bring it down and I cast Detect Magic while looking at the guy over there. And I look at Vanderbrush. I look at Javi again and Vanderbrush and Theo, and I'm like, you guys are fucked up. And I look at Javi and I say, you shouldn't be. And as I point to Vanderbrush, and it's
we are not
like,
fucked up yet.
Can I get another?
Where's that bread?
Huh?
Can I get another Constitution saving throw from the two of you, please?
Okay.
Certainly.
I'm like, where's that bread?
We're at disadvantage, right?
You're at disadvantage for ability checks and attack rolls because you're at
Well,
poisoned.
just a second though, because while that's being like Tibian's doing that, I'm going to pat each of them on their hands, and I'm casting Lesser Restoration on each one.
No.
I think we've gone far enough now.
And this is why you bring a cleric to kill your buzz, literally.
Enough of that.
This half-elf cleric, just kind of patting the two humans on their hands, going, now.
I still have half a shot in my other hand. I've just been
Two
my
of
second
them.
shot.
You're like both.
I'm just like,
As you cast Detect Magic and look around this tavern, we're gonna end for tonight.
ooh.
Joke's on them. This is not the first time Theo has fought wasted.
Well, you're not even wasted anymore because you had lesser restoration cast on you, so you're no longer poisoned.
I'm sorry to be a buzzkill, but
Literally.
The way I was between just like, should I do see invisibility or detect poison and disease so I could just see how fucked up both of them are? Just so I know, just for me.
Well, that is it for tonight, but we're going to go around, let everyone say all the good things, where you can find them online, share some love for tonight, which is, you know, kind of a great, kind of easy night. And then we'll come back and I'll do the end. I'll do my spiel at the end. So why don't we go in reverse order, starting with Chris. How did you have fun tonight, Chris? Are you having fun?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was a very enjoyable time. Thank you so much for the experience, Prox. I think Javi is entertained by the nonsense of his companions and happy to be along for the ride.
Always a good thing. And where can we find you? All those good things.
Oh yes, you can find. I'm Chris Geary. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. You can find me here Saturdays as I play Javieth, the Death Cleric. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, but aren't you doing something else? Like online now?
Oh yes. I am also on Start Playing. If you want to play in any of the games run by me, feel free to do so. Currently, I've wrapped up my one-shots for a familiar quandary for now. I may bring them back later where you get to play a familiar, cleaning up after their adventures. And I am moving on to Castle Falkenstein one-shots. And the first one is actually next week on the 26th, Thursday. So if you want to have a Castle Falkenstein experience, like you may have seen on The Wandering DM for a one-shot, feel free to sign up over on Start Playing.
Yes, indeed. And to answer Koldrick's question, it's like, yeah, I'll leave the gifts of Velthaprini to carry over till next week because, you know, it was a shopping episode. And I have a bunch that I'm probably going to get even more over the weekend.
It's only fair then.
It's only fair then. And next up, Lynn, how you doing, Lynn? How's life going for you? Did you have fun tonight? All that good stuff.
Oh, this was delightful. I'm extremely happy we got a drinking contest out of this with Brandibus. Brandibus is doing something fun, so this is a win. If Theo doesn't win, this is still a win. And he might be too drunk to see the new hat. We'll see.
The true team fun agenda.
The true team
It may
fun
kill us,
agenda.
but we're gonna have fun.
Hashtag, well, we'll come back to that. Although I do have a new hashtag for Javi, literally the death of fun. There you go.
Oh, nice. I
Nice.
love it. I love it.
Yes, but he might kill it, but he's the only one around that can also resurrect it.
Yep. Also,
Does that make me like the life cycle of fun?
maybe.
Maybe that's the name of our group, the life cycle of fun.
We'll come back to that. And then, but where can we find you, Lynn? All that good stuff.
Yes. You can find me on Gremlin Art, pretty much on Twitter, Twitch, all those places you can find my art and all the games I'm playing throughout the week. And next time you'll see me is on Wednesday for a special one shot on Only Play Wizards for a charity one shot on the Expanse, where it's a horror themed one. So it's gonna be lots of scary stuff in space. Most of us are probably gonna die, but it's for charity and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I just hope someone gets airlocked. That's one of my one hopes. Maybe it's me. I don't know. And you can find me on War Society for Scion, where we are still reeling from our godlings are still reeling from being gone for a year. So like my character just had a very tense dinner with her mom, wondering what the hell happened to her the entire. So yeah, godlings still have to reckon with their parents, so nothing really very much changes.
I mean, it's complicated, I guess.
Mhm.
There's lots of things that are complicated right now. And that leaves us over to someone who is not complicated, but wonderful fun. Hey, PB, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. I'm very happy with our last shopping session. And also, I think it's a shared favorite moment between Pope and Prax when Pope did his little liturgy of to all the gods, essentially. And then, so that was amazing just in and of itself. And then the way Prax that you played off of that and then described exactly how the spell worked out with, you know, the other sticks basically falling away and the Vestrun one rising. That was such a cool just imagery and description and a beautiful a continuation of Pope's already really cool just spell cast. And so that was really awesome, as always. Everyone, make sure if you're out here watching right now or you're watching the VOD, make sure to, you know, hit that follow. You know, Amazon Prime, you know, use that money you've already spent and hit that subscribe button. Get those cool emotes that Prax has. And if nothing else, you know, leave a message saying how much you appreciate Prax for all she does, because Prax is pretty cool. If I do say so myself. Yeah. And with that, I'm PB from at PB Plays Inside. You can find me there everywhere. You can find me over on my Twitch streaming things like Destiny and other games. I recently found a mod on Minecraft that is basically like a Harvest Moon / Stardew Valley mod that I've been kind of enjoying. So maybe I'll bring some of that onto stream if that's of interest to you. Make sure to stop on by at PB Plays Inside, and that is me.
Also, what about the podcast thing?
Oh my gosh, you're right. Yes, on Wednesdays over on twitch.tv/Nillyline. My best friend and I, Nilly, we do a booked podcast right now. We're going through Twilight. We're actually almost done. This next week is going to be the last, at least with the first book. It's the last series of chapters, the climax of the story of Twilight. And then we're going to be doing a watch party of the first movie because Nilly has also never watched those. So, so I am very excited. Also, so many memes are going to be opened up for me to actually send her now that she'll actually understand. So I'm very excited for that. If that's of any interest to you, make sure to stop on by Wednesdays at twitch.tv/Nillyline at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I unfortunately don't get to watch live, but it is very entertaining when I get to watch the VODs. It is quite entertaining. Excuse me. And then last, but certainly never least, hey Pope, how are you? You have fun tonight?
Oh, I had a delightful time. Absolutely delightful, as per usual here on the channel and with these wonderful human beings. Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World Bill on Twitter, Pope World Bill on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. If you want to see more of my silly face, follow that Twitter and pretty much just follow the wonderful people that you see, because I follow them around like a puppy. With Prax, I will hopefully be back with the folks in Mahakam tomorrow night for more Witcher Roads Home. There's, let's just say, the hashtag is Port Artso, and then the other hashtag is Experience Map. And yeah, that is what this Mahakam arc is. So you want to come in to, one, understand those, and two, experience them, and if you can, do so live. And then on Monday nights, over on Wandering DM, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, something completely different with Montreal by Night, where my Zamish is having very high anxiety. It's a strange feeling to be of the clan of the dragon, and instead of going, how am I going to play with people's meat suits today? Going, please, for the love of Cain, let them not cause every single problem that one can have in Montreal.
I would like it pointed out it's not the Ravnos' fault.
But as with every Ravnos story, there's a series of dots and then the word yet. Yet.
Hashtag not the Ravnos' fault.
So yeah, no, like Witcher Coldrick, you know about the Witcher shenanigans, but also if you enjoy the lore of Vampire, you enjoy Prax, Trooper, and Simon's amazing storytelling, definitely come on by on Mondays and then follow these wonderful people in their projects. They're all amazing. And if nothing has been learned within the past 3 years, you need good people in your life. And these are all good people. So till next time, take care of yourselves, one another, and thank you for being here. We're live VOD, YouTube. The story is nothing without its audience here, much part of this PR. And just as one last tag, tell the people that you love them. So till next time, love you all. Have a good night.
Indeed, and as for me, hey y'all, you know me, I'm at Deirdre Donlin on Twitter, or Praxagorth as you see me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all of my players for being here. I'm sorry for the 2 players who couldn't be here. They're not feeling well, but I do feel it is appropriate that I do a shout out for Jay at this point. We're going to do a shout out for Jay for Tall Squall. If you do not know, Tall Squall has written a novel. His inaugural fantasy young adult novel will be going live on Monday. Literally on Amazon Prime. You can go get this novel. It is, I have had the pleasure of reading it. Here, go find, here's the link to Tall Squall's book, The Legacy of the Vermilion Blade, book 1 of A Time of Falcons and Roses. Look at that beautiful, beautiful cover art and go after this. It is a young adult, well, not really young adult. It's a fantasy novel with really good ace romantic representation. And all of the proceeds from the book are going to the Trevor Project. It is a really good book. It is, and I can just say that because I've read it, and it's really gorgeous. And you just go get it. And since he's not here to show for himself, I'm gonna do it for him. And then the other player who's not here is Hannah, our dear friend, Hanimation Studios on Twitter. You can actually find the link, or Hanimation Art on Twitter, sorry, Hanimation Studios, everywhere else. You can find her she did the beautiful art for the Witcher Roads Home crew. And she does really, really pretty art, like the bestest, most messed up individual in the Witcher 3 game. You know, because hashtag Detlef did nothing wrong. Maybe. Who knows? We love Detlef, it's fine. And you can check her art out there. Go help her. She does some beautiful, beautiful stuff. As for me, again, I have a Ko-Fi if you would like to support us or help us out. I am fundraising to try and commission some art for this beautiful crew that's doing some wonderful work and beautiful story that's emerging from here in this wonderful setting that I've got. I've also got a bunch of games that I write and that I put up and you can buy and play at home and have your own fun and stories. And you can find those over on itch.io. If you've missed out on anything, you want to check out the VODs, hey, there's a YouTube for that. And I'm going to be putting the VOD of today's cooking stream in which I made, I was cooking with my mother today. Mama and I were cooking in the kitchen. It was a lot of fun. We had fun. We made lasagna and meatballs. Because life is good. That VOD will be going up probably the next couple days. But other than that, check my Twitter because I was posting where I'm going to be. which I should say because that's a thing that I don't forget. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern here, we're going to round out our Mahakam arc with our wonderful Pope, Durin Razmi. We've got Lord Math, we've got Kadern the Mage, we've got Countess Brenna von Velder, the Witcher of the Cat School, and we got a whole bunch of necrophages and some other things going on in Mahakam. I'm sure it's fine. So you can check that out at 8 p.m. Eastern here on the channel. You can find me, like Pope said, over on Wandering Society, Wandering DM for Montreal by Night, and it is hashtag not the Ravnos' fault. It's the Brujah's fault, and I feel like this is, you know, an erasure of the fact that the Bruja are really the ones who cause the most problems in VTM, and nobody likes to talk about it. The Ravnos just get blamed for everything.
They don't like to talk about it because they get punched in the mouth when they do.
I feel that this is just the Ravnos being blamed for Bruja problems.
As the Bruja, I would have to. That's not wrong.
See? But yes, so come join us over there. We've got some wonderful fun that's happening for that. And that's 8:30 on Monday. But until next time, everybody, we should send some love out into the universe, and that means we should go raid somebody and send some joy and happiness for all of those good things. So, who can we go raid? Oh, the Invisible Sun crew is up, and they're doing their finale, so we should go raid Other Doc for the Invisible Sun. So let's go send some raid and drop some love in their chat and give them some wonderful joy tonight. Have yourselves a great night, everybody.